What's up, everybody? It's your working gamer here, and today we're going to be talking about Lies of P. Lies of P, in my opinion, is definitely the gold standard for what a Souls-like game is and what it should be. Definitely in terms of builds, combat, gameplay, environments, weapon, attire, definitely everything you would want in a Souls-like game. The difficulty. So with that being said, let's get into it, because we're going to go over why, if you haven't played this game, you need to go pick it up. So first and foremost, let's just talk about the environment here. This is Hotel Krat. It doesn't look like this at the beginning of the game. I'm towards the end game, so a few things have happened, obviously, in the world. So this is essentially your Hunter's Dream, or in Elden Ring, Knights of the Round Table. Or just a round table. I call it Knights of the Round Table, but round table, whatever you want to call it. But your round table, your Hunter's Dream, Hotel Krat is exactly that, where you can buy weapons, you can buy items, you can level up, you can modify your weapons, do all that good stuff. You can test out your weapons out there, which is really fun, really cool. Again, just a lot of great things about this game. I can't say enough good things about it. So that's Hotel Krat that's here. Secondly, let's talk about the attire here for a little bit. Definitely screams Bloodborne in my opinion. The only difference here is that the attire doesn't do anything, right? It's just a fashion show. So if we are going to talk about just attire in general or fashion in general, it doesn't do anything, right? There's no resistance, there's no stats, unlike Elden Ring and Bloodborne, where you get some type of stat, some type of resistance to some type of element in the game. So cool fashion show, but just a fashion show nonetheless. And you will get more costumes or attire as you go through the game. Secondly, let's talk about the stats, right? Because I mentioned stats. Let's talk about the stats here for a little bit. So in my playthrough, I did a strength build. Strength is motivity. It's at 39. I do have some amulets, and we'll talk about accessories next. I do have some amulets that increase it. Capacity is your weight consideration. Vigor and vitality is your typical health and stamina. Again, very Souls-like. Need to take into consideration your health. Need to take into consideration your vigor, your capacity. So you're not fat rolling. Motivity is your strength. Technique and advance, that's more of like your dexterity / balance build, I want to call it. A little bit quicker of attack sequence, right? So that's just the build, and that's just the stats. Accessories, right? So if we go to accessories, we have amulets, very similar to Elden Ring, where in essence, each amulet kind of does something, right? So the four I have equipped is increased max HP. I have increased max amount of HP, stamina, and legion. I have motivity because I'm a strength build, so I did +4 here. And then I also got another +3. Yes, it's also for technique, but I got the +3 for motivity. There's a bunch of others, right? Increased damage inflicted on puppets, increased damage inflicted on humans, physical damage reduction rate. So really depending on the environment you're going through or the build that you want to have, you can really get creative with the amulets. And then you also have defense parts, which is pretty cool. Now, defense is where your defense and your weapons is where kind of the weight capacity comes into play, and not so much the attire, right? Because I know in Elden Ring, perfect example, you can have some really bulky strength build attire there, and it just weighs you down. So, there's 4 different defense parts. This does physical damage reduction rate. As you can see, the more damage reduction rate you get, the heavier the item is. We have a converter, which does element resistance. This is where your resistance comes into play, and it, again, doesn't come through your attire. Just different types, right? So depending on the environment you're going through, you may want to switch these up, and you get more and more as you go throughout the game, and you can also buy them in certain parts of the game. This is your disruption, shock, and break resistance. Again, these are elements in the game. Disruption will kill you instantly, very similar to frenzy. So again, the environment you're going through, just really taking into consideration, where you are in the game and what works best for your build and where you are. This is pretty much just your straight up armor, right? Slash, strike, and pierce reduction rate. You can buy these in Hotel Krat from a specific merchant. So that's just that, right? This is your health recovery right here. You start off at 5, I believe, and as you go through the game, you can activate what you call abilities. And through those abilities, you'll get other things as well. And this is your grindstone. Your grinder actually repairs your weapon. Weapon durability is in the bottom right-hand corner, that white bar there. It's very similar to Bloodborne, where your durability gets impacted as you block and or use your weapon. And we will demonstrate that later on as we go through some of the environments. So where we're going right now real quick is just to show you some of the abilities that you can get, right? So certain factors come into combat here. So these are called P organs. Why, I don't know. That's what they call them. Pinocchio organs. So add a Fable slot. A Fable slot is what is in the top left-hand corner right there. You start off with 3. This allows you to do like an advanced attack and or a weapon art. And that increases, obviously, the attack damage and things of that nature. And we will display that as we go through some of the environments and when we get to the combat. But right now, I just kind of want to show you the abilities here. So for example, this is add Fable slot 2, meaning I already added 1, which got me a 4th, and this would be getting a 5th Fable slot, so which is what got me my 5th Fable slot. To get my 5th Fable slot, I was able to get Quartz, which you see in the top left-hand corner there, which is a rare item you get throughout the game, and you can buy from time to time. So with that being said, I did increase Fable artifact duration, which means the longer my attack and the longer I'm able to do that set attack. Enhance pulse cell recovery. Pulse cell is your health that I showed before, so that means more health regeneration. Charge Fable upon pulse cell use, meaning that my Fable art will get replenished when I'm healing. So there's a bunch of different things here, right? You add an amulet slot, perfect guard stiffness, belt slots, things of that nature, right? So just a bunch of different things that you can get and activate as well as utilize throughout the game. You know, lower consumption, weapon durability, right? So if we actually were to go ahead and let's say activate something, let's just pretend, you can enhance weapon attack when durability is at maximum, right? So pretty much when your weapon is at 100%, that first attack is going to do some serious damage. Increase staggered duration, meaning when you stagger an enemy, the time frame that they are in that staggered effect will be longer. Things of that nature, right? So just a lot of cool things. Reduce stamina consumption from dashing. Dashing in this game is very similar to Bloodborne. So it's really cool things that you can get throughout the game and let's say activate throughout the game, right? So just really quickly wanted to show you guys that. Secondly, in this game, the weapons can be customized, which is super cool. Something I really enjoy about this game is the customization of weapons, meaning that a handle on a certain weapon can be applied to a different blade or something of that nature. So perfect example, I have a bone-cutting saw blade with a Kraton police handle, right? So this is my bone-cutting saw blade with my Krat Police baton handle, and each handle has its own attack sequence. Now, on boss weapons like this, the Holy Sword of the Ark, you cannot do that, but on your generic weapons, I will say, you can switch up the handles, right? So, perfect example of the Krat Police baton handle has a certain attack sequence. So if we go out here, this is the attack sequence on the baton handle. Now what I can do is take this handle and apply to a different sword, and so on and so forth. So let's say I take this. This is a sword you start out with, carries you through most of the game if you want it to. Right, and let's put the baton handle on it. And you'll see now that this sword is going to have that attack sequence that my bow cutting blade just had. See? That's my R1 spam. Heavy attack would have been the same. You can also check the scaling on these weapons and on these handles. Let me just put my stuff back. So if we alter handle, we can actually increase the motivity of something, right? So if I'm doing a strength build, the baton handle actually started off as a B, if I'm not mistaken, and I was able to use a motivity crank, which is an item you can get throughout the game, you can buy every so often, and it actually increases the scaling of it. So I actually changed the baton handle from a B to an A, giving it greater motivity scaling, which just essentially increases your attack force, right? So really cool feature of the game. Modification of weapons, modification of handles, customization of the weapons, really just great feature of the entire game. Can't say enough good things about that, that's for sure. Obviously, you can upgrade your weapons per normal. Both of my weapons are maxed out. Again, I'm towards the end game here. And now you're all probably wondering, well, what's this thing on my arm here? This is a Legion arm. Very similar to... I'm struggling with the game here. I'm not going to compare it to Devil May Cry's arm, but just a really cool feature. Maybe something like Sekiro with the arm kind of, right? So it's something you can modify, something you can use for attack, something you can use for defense. Me personally, I use the puppet string. As you can see in the top right hand corner, the 4 moves I have activated. There's the pull in, and there's me pulling myself into the enemy. This one's a dodge, and this one's an attack link. Pretty cool. There are different arms that you can activate and enable with different abilities. This one does overcharge, which is like an electric shock burst here. Any day now. Pretty cool. You can see also how many different ones there are. There really is very much a large selection of these arms here that you can use. Definitely suggest, playing around with most of them. Although I'm a motivity build, I have to say the puppet string is really useful for me because it just does so much help in terms of my mobility, because strength builds usually aren't so mobile. So that's kind of really helpful, right? So I'm just going to demonstrate it right here. Let's see if I can do this. Pretty cool, right? 1,562 damage, stagger attack. Really cool. So, excuse me, next we're going to do, see those blue items in the top left-hand corner there? That's the Fable art, right? So if I do L1 square, see in the bottom right-hand corner, activate it. Let's do a charge attack, right? Pretty cool there, right? Get the enemy in staggered. Just enhances the attack power, right? And that's something you can activate with the P organ. Also, what you see in the bottom right-hand corner, there's the weapon durability. This is the grindstone that repairs your weapon on the fly. Something interesting about this game is that if your weapon is completely broken, I'm 99% sure that weapon is then done. So if you really love that weapon and it breaks, you're in trouble, because I don't think you're going to get that weapon back. I haven't heard of anybody being able to get a broken weapon back. If you have, let me know. I'd love to know how, because I have definitely broken a couple of my weapons on the first couple of playthroughs, and I completely forgot to repair my weapon. Something also interesting about this game is you can get different grindstones where you can apply elements to your blade or your weapon. See that I just inhibited fire. You can get other items very similar to Elden Ring and things of that nature, where you can apply electric, you can apply acid, and things of that nature to your blade. So with that being said, let's go over here and I'm going to show you guys just some stuff you can buy. So Fable Catalyst, this replenishes your Fable. Let's see, Fire Abrasive, Temporary Abuse Fire. This is a one-time use. This is one-time use, meaning that you get it, use it, and then you have to get more, right? So there are also items you can throw. Items here you can upgrade your weapon with. Again, as you go through the game, you'll find what they call craft boxes that you can hand over to him, and he will allow you to buy more and more items. Now, in terms of stats here, you can see I have capacity at 35, again, simply because I like running around with 2 swords. You can still see I'm slightly heavy. I don't like running around with just 1 sword and then having to pause it and switch it and equip and unequip. You can respec in this game, which is really cool. I have yet to do so on a playthrough. There was 1 sword that I wanted, but you end up not getting that sword from that boss. You end up getting an amulet instead. But I have yet to feel the need to respec. Capacity I know is kind of high. But I like just stacking things. I play a little bit more aggressive, where I probably take a little bit more damage than most people. So with that being said, let's talk about this. This is a large Stargazer. A Stargazer is pretty much, now it looks different when you're actually at in an environment or things like that nature. But the Stargazer is essentially your lamp in Bloodborne or your Grace in Elden Ring. Allows you to transport from location to location. Now the thing about this game is it's very linear. So when you're going through the environments, you kind of know where to go, right? You're kind of just like, oh, okay, let's go check out this area here. Oh, okay, cool, enemy. Enemy. You run down here. Oh, okay, piece of candy. Cool. Oh, let's go this way. There's a hallway here. Okay, cool, enemy, nothing. You go back this way. Oh, cool, stairs. What's this? Oh, this is where we just were. It's very much like that in the environments as well. Some people don't like that. I like it. It's linear. It's big enough where that was an over-exaggeration. It's really not that small. But it's definitely linear and definitely fun to where you get not lost, but you have enough area to explore but not get lost. Definitely don't need a map for this game by any means. Again, very more similar to Bloodborne, where you're not really going to get lost. Whereas in Elden Ring, you're kind of just running around in this huge open world, and you'll definitely get lost and then end up somewhere where you're not supposed to be. That's not what's going to happen in this game. You'll never end up where you're not supposed to be. You just kind of go through the game and go through the environments, and you follow the story along. So with that being said, let's check out some of the gameplay. I want to show you guys some of the gameplay and some of the environments here. And let's see if we can't break a weapon or two and show you guys some of the cool combat and why I love this game so much, really, and why you need to go get this game if you haven't already gotten it. Show you guys some of the elements too while we're at it. Let's pick a good location to go to. Let's go to Krat Central Station. And then maybe one more, just to kind of show you guys the gameplay and really why I love this game so much. Pinocchio's nose is loading. Just kind of want to show you guys the reel in here. So he was a little out of range there, but reel him in. Attack, awesome, cool. Roll, bring him in. R1 spam. See, total Bloodborne style where all that crap just kind of flies all over you. These things will cause disruption. That will instantly kill you. Again, very similar to Frenzy. I think there's an enemy over here. Let's see if we can't break his weapon. Yeah, there he is. Let's go. Parrying and blocking is a huge part in this game. You need to learn to parry, you need to learn how to block, for sure. So, blocking, you'll still, when he does that, when the enemies turn red, you're still going to get hit, you're still going to take damage, but you can block it to an extent. So, again, blocking a big part of this game. Let's see if I can do a perfect parry. A perfect parry is what allows you to stagger and break the enemy's weapon, and it turns red when you do it. See that guard regain in the top right hand corner there? So see, it's kind of Bloodborne style, right? Where there's a little bit of red line there and you get that health back. And that's, again, you can activate that during the P organs with the quartz. Let's see if I can't get a perfect, there's a perfect parry right there. There's another perfect parry, and then another one. And I did it again. And look, see, I broke his weapon. Literally broke his weapon. And his attack obviously is not that strong anymore. And this allows you to kind of like stagger the enemy really well. And let's get in there for a critical. But again, you see in the bottom right hand corner, my weapon is taking damage. Definitely something to take into consideration. Making sure you're keeping an eye on that as you're going through the game and repairing it. So those were a couple perfect parries. Just want to show you guys how you could break the weapon. Just kind of run you through a little bit of an environment. So with that being said, let's see if we can't hit one more environment real quick. Show you guys some of the difficulties in the bosses and, well, not bosses, but let's see if we can't find at least a more bulkier enemy to kind of take on. And then that way I can show you guys the reel in. Again, definitely Bloodborne vibes. You can see as running around this environment. Just, it's a really great game, really fun game. Again, can't really get lost. go to the street entrance just so we can demonstrate the puppet string. Very similar to also Souls games, what you do and what you decide when interacting with NPCs throughout the game do affect the ending you get. You probably need about 2, maybe 3 playthroughs to get all the endings. I think 2 should be suffice, though, to get you all the endings that you kind of want and or need. So let's see here if we can't just demonstrate a few of the, yeah. Right, pretty cool there. I pull myself in there. So again, really cool, really fun. Right, so here we go, we're gonna just charge. 1,495, oh, this guy came from behind me here. Again, really fun, really cool. Let's do a heavy attack. We can easily break these guys' weapons if we so choose. It's a really great, really fun game. Just kind of wanted to show you guys through the environments a little bit here. By all means, definitely feel free to go get this game and play this game. As you can see, it's a lot of fun. Definitely suggest this game 100%, especially if you're a Souls player. Way more so than I would Lords of the Fallen. Let's see if we can hit one more environment real quick. Let's just go demonstrate the elements a little bit more. Show you guys some of the disruption, maybe one big enemy, and we'll wrap it up. As you can see, the gameplay is really fun. Can't say enough good things about this game. Definitely need to go get it. Just kind of want to show everybody here more of the gameplay, more environments, especially if you're truly considering getting this game. Really hope you consider getting it. Here's a merchant. Obviously, you could buy things from. Again, you could run into them as you go through some environments here. Get things to help upgrade your weapons and yourself. Again, very Souls-like in terms of one thing we didn't talk about actually is the Ergo. Ergo is your blood echoes or your runes or your souls. It's how you buy things throughout the game, how you upgrade your weapons and things of that nature. And you lose them when you die. So again, very Souls-like. And that is that, again, that blue stuff in the top right-hand corner. Very similar to Elden Ring and Bloodborne as well, is you'll find like little dim ergo pieces that you can consume and help increase your ergo account and purchase items. Yeah, there's a big guy over here. Let's take him on and I'll show you guys that big dude over there. I just kind of want to take you guys through, I can't talk today, kind of want to take you guys through some of the environments here and just show how great this game really is. So as you can see, my weapon in the bottom right hand corner, right, it's taking some damage. Let's see if I can get a perfect parry on this guy. There's one. Heavy attack. Another one. See, as you do the perfect parries, they become a little bit more vulnerable, even with the R1 attack. Yeah, see? And then that allows you to get a nice critical in there. And during this time, you can charge up your weapon, land a heavy. Really cool, really fun game. Again, just overall, can't say enough good things about this game. If you haven't considered getting this game, you definitely need to go get it. Definitely need to play this game. Won't take you too long to beat. Again, more Bloodborne length, and with the DLC coming out in a little bit, definitely wanted to do a strength playthrough and another playthrough of this game. Hopefully it's dropping soon, so what I might do is, if you have any suggestions in the comments or anything you guys thought I missed, feel free to drop it. I enjoy playing this game. Definitely going to do a review of the DLC once that drops. I get enough hours into it. Maybe I'll drop a Bloodborne review next. If you guys have any reviews you'd like to hear about, drop them in the comments and let me know. We can discuss it together maybe on a live stream going forward. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Later.